Yo, yo, yo. It's time to slice and dice. Now, no kitchen should be without a knife. And no cook should be without basic knife skills. So let me show you the basics that I know. Welcome to my kitchen. So here we have our chef knife, which is our all-purpose knife, which is good for cutting, chopping, and mincing. And it's characterized by a very large blade, which is usually from 8 to 14 inches. On the blade, we'll have our heel, and then that is a wide blade tapering off down to the tip of the blade. Now we're gonna focus on the grip. Now, you can handle it just like this with your finger up. However, that makes the knife very unstable and it creates a very strong possibility of losing a digit. And you can also handle it like this, but there's a more professional way to do it. So with your finger and your thumb, you're gonna grip the sides of the knife. Now, to be honest, it does take some time to get used to the cut, but it's the best way to hold your knife because you have full control over the stability of the knife, and that prevents you from cutting any of your digits, which is exactly what we need. Enough for the knife, let's focus on your digits, because these are the things that we want to make sure that we keep attached to our body. You don't want to have your fingers splayed out because that's the easiest way to cut yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a claw. Now the claw with your first knuckle kind of tucked in is going to create a barrier with your second knuckle, which the knife could actually rest against. And that will protect you from cutting any of your digits off. The blade is guarded against your second knuckle. The 3-finger technique is really good for like more elongated vegetables. And so you'll have your middle finger in the front and your 2 fingers in the back. And again, you're gonna have them slightly bent so that the knuckle is resting against the blade. And again, that will prevent you from losing any digits, because again, that is the purpose, to not lose digits. Now let me demonstrate how you're going to use that 3-finger technique with some celery. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to slice the celery down the middle so we can make it into smaller pieces. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slice this in half. So we have 4 pieces total. We're just gonna kind of group these together. And again, using that 3-finger technique, we're going to grip the celery, and then we're just going to slice across using kind of like a choo-choo train or seesaw kind of motion. And just when you're first starting out, take it slow. Make your cuts very slow and steady so that you get used to what you're doing. And then once you feel more confident in what you're doing, then you can definitely move faster. But this is a great way to get a nice slice on your celery, which you can use in any recipe that you're ready for. And we have our digits nice and saved. No digits lost here. Okay, and so I'm going to demonstrate this on a carrot. Now a carrot is round, so it's going to be a little difficult. So what we can do is we can slice it in half, which will create a nice little bottom part that we can rest against the cutting board. And then the same with the celery, using the 3-digit technique. We're just going to hold on to the carrot and then slice across. And then once you get to the last part, just take your time so you can get those last parts cut nicely. And again, we have our digits saved. Now, if you're gonna want to use a whole carrot, then what you'll wanna do is use your pinky and your thumb to kind of prevent the carrot from moving. And then you'll just slice across, and this will give us the nice big rounds of carrots that people are used to. And as you get toward the end, just make sure you're taking care of those last few slices. And now I'm going to show you how to cut large leaf herbs like basil or mint. So I have some mint here, and with the mint leaves, what we're going to do is we're going to stack them on top of each other. And then once we get a nice stack, then what we're going to do is we're going to roll these up like a blunt. It's good practice for those who do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. But anyways, we're just going to roll this into a nice tight cigar blunt-like shape. Beautiful. And now what we do, again, using the 3-finger technique, is we're just going to slice across, making small little cuts. All right, and then these will be perfect for going into any of your dishes as well as for using as garnish. Now I'm going to show you how to cut smaller leaf herbs like cilantro or parsley. So what we first want to do is we have our bunch of cilantro or parsley, and then we're just going to kind of bunch these up into a ball as tight as we possibly can. Once we get them into a bunch like this, then we're just going to slice across. Any leaves that escape, you can just use your pinky and your thumb to kind of rail them in and then bring them back and slice through. We're gonna chop through to get the sizes that we want, and we're gonna use kind of a seesaw motion. And so what that entails is just using your hand towards the front of the blade, and we're just going to chop up and down with the back of the blade, moving it through the food. And once you make another one pass, kind of get everything back together and then just move it through again. And then you can just do it both back and forth until you get the size that you need. And there you have herbs that are perfectly ready for sprinkling on top of a dish or into a dish. All right, now I'm gonna show you how to slice and dice an onion. So we have our onion here and we have two sides. The first one is going to be the top, which is the part that's above the ground. And then we have the root, which is the part that's under the ground. Now the root is important. We want to make sure we maintain the root because this is going to hold everything together for us. So the first, we're gonna take off the top, and you're taking the top completely off. So just go ahead and slice down through. And I kind of like to use this time to kind of peel off some of the skin so it'll make peeling off that outer layer easy. Now for the root, we're going to slice through, but you don't want to slice all the way through it. You want to make sure that there's some of the root there available because that's going to hold the onion together when we slice it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slice across the root in half. And that's going to ensure that we have a root on either side of the onion, which we need. For dicing the onion, we're gonna make 3 different cuts. So the first one is going to be a horizontal cut. However, it's kind of hard with your hand against the cutting board. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to move the onion to the back of the cutting board so that you'll have room with your hand to make that horizontal cut. And then just using your hand, we're just going to slice. Now make sure you do not slice all the way through. You want to leave some of the onion so that everything stays intact. Beautiful. Now we're just going to move up and slice horizontally through the onion. And you can make these cuts as large or as small as you would like, depending on your preference. Now we're gonna make some vertical cuts going across the onion. So using your hand to kind of hold the onion together, we'll just slice down, again, taking care not to slice all the way through the onion. Because if you slice all the way through the onion, then it'll fall apart and it'll make the dicing process a whole lot more difficult. Beautiful. Now we're going to make some more vertical cuts. However, we're going to go perpendicular to the last vertical cut that we made. And this is our 3rd cut, and this is going to give us the dice that we are looking for. And again, these slices, each one, you can make them as large or as small as you'd like, depending on your preference. And then with the root, at this point, you're pretty much done with that. You can discard it. And there you have your nice diced onion, which is perfect for any recipe that you need diced onions for. All right, now I'm gonna show you how to slice the onion. Now with a sliced onion, you don't need the root. So we're just going to go ahead and completely remove that. Then we're just going to make vertical slices through the onion. And again, you can make these as large or as small as you like, depending on your preference. If you want them paper thin, slice them paper thin. If you want a nice thick slice, then make a nice thick slice. Now, once you get to a certain point, it's going to become difficult to slice it. In fact, you might lose digits if you keep trying to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that last piece and we're just going to pop it over. And then you just continue your slice as you did before. And just take care for when you get to that last piece. Beautiful. And now you have some nice sliced onions. I hope you get inspiration from my kitchen. Like and subscribe to come back for more, and comment below if you found this video informative and if you have any other kitchen skills that you want to learn. You can connect with me on any of my social media listed below. Thank you bunches for being here, and I'll catch you back here for more deliciousness.